Hello everyone, welcome to A Garden a Day with Maidenbrock Gardens, where we explore the world one garden at a time. Today is July 19th. Guess what, listeners? Today is our 200th episode. Hooray! Thank you so much for listening each day. I appreciate every single one of you out there listening to this podcast. I check the analytics every once in a while, and I am so amazed to see how far this little podcast has gone. We have listeners all over the world. Well, except Antarctica, but I guess that's to be expected. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me this far, and if you haven't hit the like, follow, or subscribe button yet, or whatever you need to do on your podcast player, could you do that real quick before we move on? I realize I publish a new episode every day, so you already know when you'll get a new episode, but I'm also planning for next year. We're still in July, so it's too soon to make an announcement for 2026, but if you subscribe, you won't miss it. So, on with today's show. Today's garden is one of the oldest and most beautiful gardens in Canada. It was designated a National Historic Site in 1984 and is the only true Victorian garden in North America. Today we are exploring Halifax Public Gardens in Nova Scotia, Canada. The gardens cover an entire city block, about 17 acres, in downtown Halifax. In the 1830s, the Nova Scotia Horticultural Society laid out its first garden in this spot. It was joined about 30 years later by a public park that opened in 1866 next to the garden. The two were joined into the Halifax Public Gardens, and the gardens opened to the public in 1875. At the center of the garden is a bandstand, originally constructed in 1887 and restored in 2011. Public concerts are performed at the bandstand every Sunday during the summer months. Surrounding the bandstand are 32 geometric flower beds that are beautiful to see up close, but perhaps can be appreciated even more from an aerial view to see the complete design. They are planted with colorful annuals, as was done during the Victorian era. In 1897, the Victoria Jubilee Fountain was installed to commemorate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee. In 2012, the fountain received an extensive renovation just in time for Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. There are other fountains, monuments, and memorials found throughout the gardens. One such memorial is Griffin's Pond, named for a young Irishman who was accused of murder and hanged on the banks of the pond. It was later determined he was innocent. Since 1994, there's been a model of the Titanic anchored in the pond. It was a gift from the Maritime Ship Modelers Guild and follows a long tradition of displaying ships in Victorian gardens. Keeping with the Victorian theme, the garden includes 2 carpet beds commemorating important events of the year. Dwarf plants of various colors are arranged in the pattern of choice, spelling out words or arranged in decorative shapes. The plants are clipped regularly throughout the growing season to keep the lines sharp. There are 3 statues in the garden, donated by Sir William Young in 1887. They are Diana, goddess of the woodlands, wild animals, and the moon; Ceres, goddess of agriculture and fertility; and Flora, goddess of flowers and spring. The garden is open daily from 8 a.m. until a half an hour before sunset. And that's about it for today's garden visit. Join me here tomorrow to find out where we're going next. Thank you for listening today and every day. If all goes well, I'll be right back here tomorrow. See you then.